Welcome, everybody. My name is Johan Diaz,
I'm Kenny Diaz.
and you are now listening to the Teksitio podcast. We thank you guys for tuning in. It is Sunday, the 23rd?
25th.
Whoa, the 25th. All right, all right. It's been a long week for me. I mean,
It's the 25th over here, but it's still the 24th where you are.
Oh, well, greetings from the past then.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so yeah, man. So what are we going to be talking about first this week, man? I mean, this intro for you guys who are listening and watching this. We're gonna be gradually working on this here. Get some music going. Mr. Kenny Diaz is an expert on those matters. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna treat you guys to that as soon as we have that ready for you.
And if you have any ideas, just drop it below or wherever it is.
Yep. In the beautiful YouTube comments that have been a cause for concern for many people. For people who've been doing the YouTube videos for like the past 6-7 years or whatever, and they were used to anonymously, commenting on whatever type of video that they were looking at. Obviously, they're not like that. But I mean, I think it brings a more authentic, honest sort of system. I mean, because you could just create a fake account and post your usual, F this, F that, you suck, get off of YouTube, why are you doing these videos type of comments,
Yeah.
But I think it's straight. I mean, they associate it with with your real name, and then that's it. And then you have to have a Google Plus account in order to post a comment, which is kind of, it's not the best policy, but we will roll with it because this is the medium that we are using right now.
I think anything that prevents internet trolling is a good thing.
Right.
So
it's kind of it won't
or it helps
eliminate
to deter. It doesn't
completely.
prevent it completely.
Right.
It helps to deter.
Exactly. So, what's the first story you want to jump into this week, man? You say you just saw Catching Fire, right?
I did. It was I just saw it and it was pretty amazing.
Right.
I guess I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. Which
7
is
out
a
of 10.
solid.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid number.
Right.
I really like this movie more than the first one.
Okay.
And I think that they did a really great job of this. Like the story is amazing, and I think that they did a good job of like unfolding that story. Me being a person that did not read the books at all, I was, just surprised by, the things that were happening in the movie, and I definitely thought that it was cool, how the story was put together. I definitely recommend it. I hope that you watch it so that we can kind of get a little bit more in depth. Maybe have a whole show on it with some possible spoilers. Maybe after everyone kind of has seen it.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm the kind of ignorant one here. I haven't seen The Hunger Games Part 1. I haven't read the books. To tell you honestly, I've been kind of staying away from it. So I needed someone to vouch for this movie, and what better person than you? So yeah, I'm gonna check it out, and then we'll do a video about it. We'll take a look at it. Interesting enough, they were kind of comparing this Catching Fire movie to The Empire Strikes Back. I'm not really sure on how many layers. I mean, you could say that Empire Strikes Back is my favorite out of all the Star Wars movies. You could say that Empire Strikes Back was better than A New Hope. So that's, pretty on point with what you're saying, that this one was better than the first one. So, hey, then I welcome a sequel that is better than the first. Because usually it's the latter, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, this one, it's a really great story, and Jennifer Lawrence, I think she's a really great actress. I think with every movie that
she's hitting it out of the park right now, man.
Right, yeah, every movie that she does, she gets better and better with every movie that she does. I think Josh Hutcherson, the guy that plays PETA, I think he did a much better job this time around.
Oh, so he was in part one as well.
He was in part one as well,
All right.
and he did. He was cool. In part one, he did a really good job of like making himself seem like the little puny person that he is. But then in this movie, he has much more charisma, and he kind of just turns it on and off.
Did he bulk up for this sequel?
Yeah, I think he's a little bit. I think he's a little bit bigger.
A little bit cut.
Yeah, but he's not. Apparently, he's not as big as he's supposed to be in the show. I mean, in the book. Apparently, like in the book, he's supposed to be a much more tall, strapping young gentleman, and there's like supposed to be no reason that this girl is not. But anyway, it's
not into him or whatever.
Right.
I'm interested to hear someone's opinion who's obviously read the book first. Which I mean, going with the usual, usually people that read the book first think that the book is better. Your mind fills in these little details and makes it incredibly convenient as you're consuming this book. You know what I'm saying? So just to see it on screen. But it's like you said, you haven't read the book, and if you think part two is better, yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I've been meaning to check it out, but I've been kind of like, nah.
Definitely check it out. They have a really unique way of unfolding this story. Maybe not unique, but like definitely it's a good way of that the story unfolds in a really good way.
Right.
And they really have a lot of strong character development that really puts you in there when some of the tragic things are happening in the film. It's you're really there's like a lot of emotion.
And that's cool, and then that's the main thing, man. It's like instilling emotion with your viewers and the characters involved in the stories. That's like the main idea,
right? Exactly.
To a good action or drama or thriller type film.
And I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't have gone to even see the first movie if it wasn't for other influences. Like our father, he was like, "Dude, we got to go watch this."
Okay.
Really, because our sister read all the books, and she was telling him that it's an amazing thing. And then I was like, I don't want to see Twilight again in a different way.
Right. And you know what? That if you're done making your point, that is why I've stayed away.
Right.
You got these movies now. These franchises now. Is okay. Twilight came from those different line of books. I don't really like those movies.
Right.
I saw part one. I think we saw part two when you came out here to California one time, if I remember correctly.
We did.
And it was too lovey-dovey. It was too soft. Get out of here.
We gave it a chance, and then it was like,
nah. We had when we were growing up, we had the movies that had all the youngsters in it. I mean, you had the Goonies. You had Young Guns. You had Fast Times at Richmond High. You had all Revenge of the all this fairly young actors at the time, and I just soaked it in.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Movies like Twilight.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that girl from Twilight. That's why I don't like Twilight. And then also I just like it's like way too lovey-dovey, and like whenever they touch each other, it's like they're creaming, and I'm just like, dude, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
like,
it's too soft for me, man. I can't do it. Now I will say I have seen all of them. For my wife, loves those movies.
Right.
I've accompanied her to watch these movies, and it's kind of like I'm suffering through.
It's torture. It is torture.
And then there are times that I'm like, oh damn, like any of the fighting scenes, I guess. When you got these werewolves, biting off the heads of these vampires. That violence kind of, that attracts me to. I'm like, oh man, you know what? If they wanted to do a really serious storyline to something like this, it's there. But instead, I guess I'll just go watch Underworld.
Exactly right. And I think the first Underworld came out around the same time that the first. But I could be wrong about that. But
I think Underworld might have been like way before. Twilight. I'm
Right,
not
right,
exactly
right.
sure.
But Underworld is good.
Yeah.
Although they're like on Underworld 15, and I just stopped after Underworld 2, to be quite honest.
Right. No, the first one's straight.
Right.
The where can I find now is the Hunger Games Part 1, is that on Netflix or is that on Amazon Prime Insta
Yeah.
It's most likely on Netflix, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Well,
I'm
because
sure
that's
it is.
going to transition us into the next topic or the next story. If you've been watching the news recently, obviously it's not anything new that the PS3, the PS4, and the Xbox One have come out within a week of each other. This is nuts, man.
Yeah.
If I can voice my opinion on this just for a little bit.
Yeah, do it. Go
I
ahead.
really can't remember another time when two consoles have come out within a week of each other. I mean, we got the PS4 that came out last week, Xbox One came out, I want to say Friday, last Friday, It is like, it's like a full-blown war, man. I'm surprised I'm not seeing political, commercials about as to why
Whisper
not to
campaigns.
choose. You know what I'm saying?
The PS4 is terrible.
Yeah. Did you know the PS4 doesn't support MP3s or DLNA? You know what I'm saying? And which is a fact, by the way. The PS4 will not support in-network or over your local area network streaming, which is nuts. And then they said it's coming down the road. I guess they forgot about it or something, and they overlooked it, is what they said.
Dude, that's like a line of code or something.
Come
and
on,
they're
man.
like,
How do you not
don't give me that's hardware limitation. I don't want to hear anything like that.
Look, I play games, man. But one of the things that I use the most on my PS3 now, I own both consoles. I have the Xbox and the PS3. I stream movies to my PS3 all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
it's just nuts.
But it's funny how I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's funny how PlayStation now has switched into the. It's not such from what you were telling me, because I don't know anything I don't know anything about the PS4 or the Xbox One. I know nothing. I didn't even know that they came out within a week of each other. But you were telling me earlier that the Xbox One is now the more like. This is the central of your entertainment situation, whereas before the PS3 was that, and the Xbox was more focused on the games. Now they swapped roles. Is that what's going on?
Well, yeah. Sony is taking this approach. They are supporting the individual, the indie game developers a lot. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of indie games coming out on the PS4, and there's already some on the PS3. Great games. But as far as these new consoles now, Sony's taking like the approach of we're about serious gaming. If you care about the games, then come over to the PS4. Vice, the Xbox One is taking the stance like the central entertainment hub of your living room. You know what I'm saying? It has the capability that you can plug in your, brand X cable box to the back of the Xbox. That way, when you're playing the game, you can just say, watch ESPN, and it will simultaneously just transfer over and then just display ESPN just like that. So basically, it has an HDMI in and an HDMI out. So it saves you one HDMI connection going to your TV, which is genius for one, because a lot of TVs, not everybody, most newer TVs now have like 4 or 5 HDMI ports, but for those types of TVs that only have 2, this is great. You can plug in.
Yeah, if you're poor like me, then you only got 3 HDMI.
My main TV in the master bedroom only has 2 HDMI connections. So something like this is crazy and it's good. That's what intrigues me about. Look, if I had to choose between the PS4 and the Xbox One right now, I would have to go Xbox One, just because of the more capability involved. All the apps, the Netflix, Amazon Prime, all that type of stuff, which right now I can get on my PS3, but On the Xbox, it's more of this media entertainment type center is what they're doing, and saving an HDMI port is great.
Right.
It's funny how you were saying it before, because the PS3 for a long time was the best Blu-ray player you can buy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You buy your PS3, you got a Blu-ray and a gaming system, and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting, man. But I will say, I have not bought any of these consoles right now. There's really no games that I can see out the door that motivate me to go ahead and fork over either $500, ouch, for the Xbox One, or $400 for the PS4. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait till the kinks are worked out, and stuff like that, because there's been issues on both. Both of them have been having issues. Where do you stand on it?
I haven't been following it, and that's really the reason I haven't been following it, because to me, I think that these consoles are just way too expensive, man. I can't shell out $400, $500 for a game console that first off, it's got to do more than one thing, and it's got to do all of those things really, really well for me to say, well, I'm gonna go shell out the money. Because to be honest, I bought GTA 5, I played 2 hours, and now that thing is collecting dust. So unless a game is revolutionary, then I can't really
talk about a title that would have been great. Look, if you would have had GTA 5 come out initially on the PS4 or the Xbox One, that is a headliner, man.
Right.
That's a headliner.
Yeah, that's going to push people to get it, yeah.
But, it's I feel no need to jump on these consoles, man. I have both now, and then I'm just I could get a game right now that's a great game. There's no reason. There's no reason for me to jump on this. I'm gonna wait till the price. Who knows when the price is gonna drop. When I first bought my PS3, I ended up getting my PS3 for $175, and that was buying it off of another owner. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I bought the Xbox Slim, I waited till Black Friday of a couple years ago, and I got it for $199 with a game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, not to mention the whole the Xbox One. You need to be let's say, so if you get an Xbox One now, if you want to watch Netflix, for example, you have to be an Xbox Live Gold member, which is $60 a year. You just can't.
You just can't run the app. That's ridiculous.
Nope. You need to be an Xbox Live Gold member for that.
Yeah.
So it's little things like that, man.
Right.
Yeah. I recommend, if you already have a PS3, there's really no reason to move to the PS4 right now. I would wait until some better titles come out, and then same thing on the Xbox. If you need to drop $500 to get the Xbox One, being able, it does have an updated Kinect, and then you can talk to it, and it has the cable box integration and stuff like that. You can tell it, watch TNT, and it'll just tune you to that channel, which based on the reviews that I've read here on Polygon, they say it works pretty damn good. So that's
well,
that's where
I won't be moving to any of these systems anytime soon. But speaking of movement, Jean-Claude Van Damme apparently did this video that's just sweeping the nation.
That Volvo video is ridiculously viral right now.
Right.
Ridiculous. You know what? When I first saw that video, I was like, once they start zooming out, and I'm just like, come on. I was like, look, I was happy to see I love Van Damme.
Right.
I grew up watching the guy's movies.
Yeah.
When you last came over here, I think we had a 2-hour conversation about Jean-Claude Van Damme, man.
Yes.
That has to be pretty in depth. The love for this guy and his movies, man.
Right.
But when I saw that video, I was just like, "Yeah, this is not real, man. This is funny. This is funny." And it was funny just enough, you know. It didn't like overstay its welcome. It was kind of like, okay, I'm doing a split between two Volvos.
Yeah.
and we're done. And then they have Enya playing in the commercial as well, which is kind of weird. But yeah, man. You were saying that it's even like jumped the gap into the Latin community. That's
Dude,
you know?
the other day I'm like speaking to our mother, and she's like, "Oh, did you see that guy that you and your brother used to watch his movies? He pushed two trucks away with his legs." I was like, "Ma, he didn't push them. He didn't push them away with his legs."
You see, you know, that's when you've made it, man. When there's multiple versions of what happened is hitting, like, you know, the internet and all these different communities, and yeah, man, it's hilarious. Nah, bro. So apparently they did it in one take. You know, they had some safety harnesses on him, stuff like that they edited out. Yeah, if you haven't seen this video, go watch this, man.
Yeah, check that out, man.
You know? And it's a hell of a PR campaign for Volvo, man. Volvo, this came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it really did.
You know what I'm saying? And then what they're trying to show, he's doing a split between these two Volvos, and then
and they're going backwards.
They're going backwards, and then they're trying to like advertise the stability or the handling or something.
Right.
Like that. You know, I could care less about that. You know, I'm not gonna go out and buy a Volvo. I think it's hella cool that Jean-Claude Van Damme is doing a split between these two moving vehicles. So that's it. Are we done there? Want to end it there? Cool.
Yeah, man.
Kind of a short show for you guys today. We thank you guys for watching. We're gonna still keep on doing this every week, and you can watch me and my brother talk coast to coast. You know.
Yeah.
You know, that was actually a title of the podcast that I was thinking about, but Coast to Coast is already taken. If you've ever listened to, I forget which radio station, but there's a radio show called Coast to Coast, and they talk about how I got abducted by aliens, and I've seen the Virgin Mary on my grilled cheese sandwich and all this type of stuff.
Oh, wow.
Pretty entertaining. Yeah, it's called Coast to Coast, and it's hilarious, man. You know, for the conspiracy theorists in you.
Yeah,
check that out. Free plug there. But yeah, man, we thank you guys for tuning in. Again, my name is Johan Diaz.
And I'm Kenny Diaz.
All right, and then we invite you guys to follow us on Google Plus. We're under Teksitio Productions. On Twitter, you can see our handles right there. And then subscribe to our feed. Again, on YouTube, comment, subscribe, all of that YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
And we will check you out next time. Thank you so much.
Word.